The Old Man's New Hope. My name is John. I'm an old man with white hair and tired eyes. I live in a small house on a quiet hill. Many years ago, my house was filled with laughter. My wife and children were always by my side. We would sit together in the garden. The children played while my wife and I watched them with smiles. Life was simple but full of joy. But then a terrible virus came to our town. It spread fast and took my family from me. First, my wife became sick, then my children. I tried to stay strong, but I couldn't save them. The house became silent. The laughter was gone. I was left alone with only my memories. Their photos stayed on the walls. I looked at them every day, remembering their smiles and warm voices. Years passed, but I still spoke to their pictures. I asked them how they were, hoping they could hear me. Sometimes I felt foolish, but it made my heart feel less heavy. The trees outside grew taller and seasons changed, but my life stayed the same. I woke up, sat by the window, and watched the world move without me. One bright morning, as the sun touched my face, I whispered to myself, "Is this how it will always be? Will my heart ever feel warm again?" One sunny afternoon, I sat by my window, as always. The wind moved the trees, and birds sang in the sky. My heart was still heavy, but I had learned to live with the emptiness. Then I saw someone walking up the hill. It was a young woman with kind eyes and a bright smile. She waved at me. I was surprised. No one ever came to visit me. She stopped at my garden gate and said, "Hello, sir. What beautiful flowers you have." Her voice was warm and friendly. I hadn't spoken to anyone in a long time. "Thank you," I said quietly. My voice sounded strange to my own ears. "I'm Lily," she said. "I just moved to the village. May I come in?" I hesitated for a moment, then nodded. She opened the gate and walked toward me. Her smile was gentle, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years, a spark of hope. We sat on the porch. She talked about her life, her love for nature, and how she wanted to make friends in the village. I listened quietly, feeling my heart slowly warm. Before she left, she said, "I'll come back tomorrow if you don't mind." I nodded again, unsure of what to say. As she walked away, I realized that the silence in my heart had been broken. The next day, as promised, Lily came back. She brought a basket of apples. "These are fresh from my garden," she said with a smile. "Thank you," I said, taking the basket. It had been years since someone gave me a gift. We sat on the porch again. The sun was warm, and a soft breeze touched our faces. Lily spoke about her childhood and how she loved to plant flowers with her mother. "I see you love flowers too," she said, looking at my garden. "It must take a lot of care to keep them so beautiful." I nodded. "They remind me of my wife. She loved flowers." My voice trembled a bit. Lily didn't ask questions. She just listened with kindness. It was comforting, talking to someone who didn't judge or pity me. We spent hours talking about simple things, the weather, the birds, and the beauty of the garden. When Lily stood up to leave, she said, "I'll see you again tomorrow, if that's okay." "Yes," I said without hesitation. For the first time in years, I looked forward to tomorrow. The next morning I woke up early. The birds were singing and the air smelled fresh. I made tea and sat on the porch waiting for Lily. She arrived with a big smile. "Good morning," she said cheerfully. "Good morning," I replied. I felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from my heart. Lily had brought a small plant in a pot. "I thought this would look nice in your garden," she said. "Thank you," I said, touched by her kindness. "Let's plant it together." We knelt in the garden, digging a small hole. The soil was soft and the plant fit perfectly. Lily patted the soil gently. "This will grow beautifully here," she said confidently. "I think so too," I agreed. "You have a good eye for beauty." She laughed. "My mother taught me everything about plants." As we stood up, I looked at the garden. It felt more alive, just like my heart. Days passed and Lily kept visiting me. We worked in the garden, shared stories and laughed. I hadn't laughed in years, but Lily changed that. One sunny afternoon, I told her about my family. "They were my whole world," I said softly. Lily listened quietly. "I'm sorry for your loss," she said gently. "Thank you," I replied. "I kept living in the past, but now things feel different." "It's good to remember them," Lily said, "but you deserve to be happy too." Her words stayed with me. I realized I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was living again. We planted more flowers that afternoon. The garden bloomed, full of colours and life, just like my heart. One evening, Lily and I sat on the porch, watching the sunset. The sky was painted with beautiful colours, red and gold. "I'm glad we met," I said to her. My voice was calm but full of meaning. "Me too," Lily smiled. "You've taught me so much about life." "You taught me too," I said. "I thought my life was over, but now it feels full again." Lily held my hand. "Memories are precious, but today matters too," she said softly. As the stars began to appear, I felt peace in my heart. I wasn't alone anymore. Life had given me a second chance, and I was ready to live it fully.